I'm gonna do this video hot off the heels of my last one because I might as well, since all the thoughts are fresh in my mind. But this one's gonna be on racist black folk. And what I want to talk about is basically just racist black people who they just actually literally hate and despise white people. And I've noticed that they got issues with other races too, whether they be Arab or Indian. Okay. Here's the thing. I realize what our past is in America. I get it. And you never want to repeat your past. I mean, you never want to forget your past because you don't never want to repeat your past. You got what I'm saying? And you want to also learn from it, or you're going to be doomed to repeat it. But what I'm saying is, I've realized what the forefathers of white folks did today. I mean, like, I get it. And I've realized what's still being done by certain white people, okay? But you can't just carry around all this hate within yourself. Hate just eats the soul. It really does. And for you to just hate them just because of something their ancestors did, it's just holding on to something, and it's just going to keep the cycle going. I mean, what do y'all eventually want to happen? Do you want all of a sudden for black people to really turn the tide and all of a sudden enslave white people and do all that shit for 400 to 500 years? And you know what I mean? Like, that's counterproductive, really. I mean, it's just, you know, two wrongs don't make it right. You know what I'm saying? It's better to unite, you know, the world with love. You know what I'm saying? But without sounding corny, I mean, it's just the fucking truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, trust me, man. I grew up mostly black kids, and you know, I would see black kids intentionally fucking with white kids, and I knew they were doing it because they was racist. You know what I mean? They'd be saying shit like, watch me get this fucking cracker, watch me do this, watch me do that. You know what I mean? They're punking a white boy out because he think he couldn't fight, you know, take his money, steal something from him. You know, I would see that shit happening. You know what I mean? You know, and against other races, like I would see stuff like, I remember when Indians really started buying up the stores in the area, like Cumberland Farms and 7-Eleven, and you know, they would go in there talking shit to the Indians. You know, got Chinese folks trying to run a Chinese food business in the community and going in there fucking with them, you know, hollering at them, trying to say, you know, fucking with them and all that shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, these, at least, first of all, you dumb motherfuckers, the ones that I'm talking about specifically were the same ones on the corner killing the community. You got what I'm saying? Same ones on the corner selling drugs, helping to destroy the black community. We'll go in, we got people setting up a good honest business and fucking with the Indians and calling them Habibs and all this other fucking shit, and then messing with you know, the Chinese people, and then, you know, messing with white people that they figured that they were running to that were weak or were easy to rob or some shit like that. Like, returning all that hatred and violence and shame from the past, it just really ain't right. And I get it. I understand that when you learn how your people were done in the past, sometimes you want some type of redemption, some revenge. But really, what is it going to get you? You know what I'm saying? Like when I saw, I forgot what they're called, but I told y'all that story when I was in New York and I saw them brothers preaching, and they had all them pictures on the ground, and they was talking about, you know, how a white man is the devil and all this other shit. And I was just like, man, yo, like these dudes are really, and they really were getting a kick out of preaching hate. They liked it. It felt good to them to make my girl cry and make her mad when she stormed off when they said we're talking that shit. And I'm just like, damn, like, I don't know. I think there's something usually wrong within your life to make you feel that way, that you feed off of hatred. You know what I'm saying? You feed off of hurting other races. You got what I'm saying? It just don't make no sense to me. You know, and the same thing on the white side. You know what I mean? I could do a video on that, but it's pretty much the same for both. You know what I'm saying? Like this, what's funny is, you know, I've met white people that are truly like, they have self-hatred for the white race. they hate their own race or bothered and just disgusted with their race did in the past. And they have this whole giving back to the community thing because they feel so bad for what their ancestors did, you know, to black people in the past. Like, you got guys, you got white men and women that are willing to go into some of the most dangerous neighborhoods and help to, get crack babies help and get certain families that are down and out help and get them back on their feet and help certain minorities with education and medical expenses and all that other shit. And sometimes, people kind of got that, attitude like, oh, they just high and mighty white folks, that's just Bobo trying to, dance for us and keep us under control. And it could be in certain aspects, but there's really good-hearted white people out there that, they really are trying to do good. Like, why they all got to be evil? You know what I'm saying? That's just like the white man that say that all black people is criminals. Liars, thieves, drug dealers, and dancers. You know what I mean? Like, it's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, because if you think like that, it's just keep the cycle going. And that's what the shit's doing. Like, I noticed, if you just look at history, the cycle's still going. It seemed like there's just less racism, but it's just more, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, I feel like there's less, but at the same time, it's still, there's a certain amount of it that just still exists. And you see it, when Obama got elected, I saw pictures posted of that fucking biker driving. On the back of his shirt, it said, it's called a White House, nigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Like, you still see, oh, you can't give him a chance. It's just, it's just crazy, man. I even got a black friend that's still, you know what I mean? I don't know what his parents taught him, or I hope it wasn't them that taught him that. But he's still, every once in a while, I hear him say crackers. And I'll be like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, my girl's white. Like, calm that shit the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? He's one of my best friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you can't be doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what their great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather did. They ain't doing it. All right? This dude working an honest 9 to 5, got his family in his house and whatever, and he ain't did a damn thing to hurt nobody, but you gonna call him a fucking cracker. That's what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I can't deal with that too much. That's my boy, but I don't, I know I could depend on him for anything, but I don't like that shit. He knows not to, I don't know if his, opinions has changed recently or not. I haven't heard him say no shit like that in a few years. Although I've only seen him once in a while within the last few years anyway. But I knew he used to have that type of mentality. And, it is just not good, And I realize even older black folk, they've been through a lot. And when you got hatred ingrained in you like that, like when you've been spit on by white folks and called a nigger and you couldn't eat with white people and you had to, drink from a different fountain, that's a whole different type of hatred you may have embedded in you to where you can, it's hard to get that out of you because you lived it. And I get it. I didn't live it. I'm living some of it now, like I told y'all. Like my mom, she lived in that time. She told me she had, white people spitting on her and calling her nigger and all that stuff. I said, what'd you do, Mom? She said, we'd be like, shut up, crackers. I'm like, this was years ago. I remember she told me that, before she died, she just, but we're part white. We got Italian, we got Irish in us. And, my mom wasn't racist. But back then, I guess how would you have reacted she told me this happened to her as a kid, 10, 11 years old. You got white kids throwing rocks at you, spitting on you, so she said what was equivalent back. She called her a nigger, she called him a cracker, whatever. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough with this shit. Black people, we need to, never forget what happened, but we need to get rid of that, disdain you've had for the white people's forefathers and see if we can help build a new world. White people. Same thing with the white people that want to get along with us. Can't we all just get along, just like Rodney King said? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got to forget all that shit. You got white cops still profiling. Still profiling like we commit the most crimes in the United States. We don't. Go to the FBI, get all the crime reports, find out who does all mostly violent crimes. It's white people. It's not black people. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't even care if it's more of the black population than the white population. You know what I'm saying? We're only 13% of the population. So yeah, okay, if 25% of black people are committing crimes and it's only 15% of white people, it doesn't matter. Y'all still the most of the majority over here in this country. So I gotta be worried more about a white man knocking me in the head than a black man knocking me in the head. It's just the truth, because you're the majority. So like these stereotypes, you gotta get rid of this dumb shit. I've never even been handcuffed in my life before. You know what I'm saying? It's just shit's just fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? I've been profiled. You know, I go into neighborhoods selling security systems. They looking at me like I'm the dude that's about to rob them. Why? Because I'm black? Because you saw it on TV when you were growing up? People believe TV too much, man. TV's a bunch of bullshit. TV is what a lot of people just want you to believe. You know what I mean? That's that dumb shit. Y'all gotta, there's stories, they're fictional, and that, oh man, I could go on for hours about all this shit, but anyway, stop the hate.